Hi everyone. Now we are back with Nicole Bromley, who is the founder of One Voice Enterprises, which does a multitude of things, right? You have the documentaries, and you also have some big clients I see, like Google and Warner Brothers. So it does all kinds of things, it seems like. And you're also an author.
I am an author. Yeah, I write and I speak mostly.
Okay.
Traveling mostly to colleges and churches and women's events, talking about issues surrounding sexual abuse and trafficking and things of like that nature.
That's amazing. I mean, you look so young, and to be the founder of this fabulous organization that does so many things. So you get to travel a lot. And
I do, yeah, mostly around America, but I just returned from Africa a few months ago, which was amazing. We did a big campaign to stamp out human trafficking and sexual abuse in Uganda and Kenya and all over East Africa, and it was really amazing.
Wow, you have traveled quite a bit, lots of experience. Talk a little bit about your involvement with Yellow Roses. How did you get involved?
Well, I was contacted to share my story, basically, and that is, I myself am a survivor of sexual abuse growing up as a little girl, and, not only am I just a survivor, but, I share my story to help other survivors sort of come out and share their stories, too, and that's why I was contacted by Yellow Roses in the beginning, to simply share my story and to offer hope to other young girls out there who may have been in my shoes. And so now here I am helping promote the film as well.
And that is such a hush-hush topic.
Yes.
Let's not talk about that. But do you feel like in talking about it, when you go and do speeches, that girls come forward and they tell you that, that also happened to me?
It's amazing. It's funny that you said it's Hush Hush, because that's the name of my very first book that I wrote. It's called Hush. And it's true, there's such a silence that is surrounding these issues, and so many girls still feel afraid to talk about it, and boys too. Statistically, it's 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused by the time they turn 18, and so many don't speak. I held my secret in for 10 years before I ever told my mother. And so when I go to the schools, when I go to the colleges, even to churches with older women and men, they come out of the woodwork telling their story for the first time, and it's really amazing. You should see the number of emails I get telling their story for the first time, never feeling like they could talk about what they've been through.
Melanie, when you hear this, because you're so very involved with Yellow Roses, what do you think? To know here is a survivor of sexual abuse. She's helping others. Now you're in a position with the Salvation Army. You're helping teens who probably have suffered
Similar
the same
stories and
thing.
background. Yeah.
Well, I just think what comes to mind, what is so amazing is that God takes whatever tragedy or whatever struggle we've had in our life, and he uses it to bring honor and glory to his kingdom. And in Nicole's case, she has a connection with people that have gone through what she's had, and that's what makes her testimony so powerful. For me, it's more of the the self-image and self-worth and girls struggling with that. I have a personal story with that as well, and I think that's what's neat is our stories are so different, but again, we are all coming together for the same purpose, because that's in the film what the girls talk about. The answer for the healing and the answer to have a new beginning and to start your life over is through a relationship with Jesus Christ, and that is what everyone has come to realize. And I think that is one thing that Nicole and I have in common too, is that we love God so much, and we just want to be used by him to help other people that are struggling with those issues.
So you said it took 10 years for you to be able to tell your story. What was it that finally made you say, okay, I want to talk about this, I want to share my story?
I'll tell you, it took a lot of courage. I was very afraid. There were so many things that my stepfather had told me to keep me silent for so long, but I just remember one day, things had been building and building over time, and for a long time I thought my mom was in the perfect marriage and she loved her husband, my stepfather, my abuser. And I thought, well, I don't want to ruin my perfect family, what everyone thought was perfect. And but the day in the car that I told her was the day that she told me that she didn't really trust my stepfather. It was the first time I'd ever heard that from her, and just started sharing some things, and it just opened the door for me. But my mom actually said to me, has he ever done anything strange around you? And so that was it. My mom asked me a question point blank, and I took it.
And you were just waiting.
I was, yeah, I was.
And your mother didn't accuse you, because I think that's the situation a lot of times. Girls feel like, well, especially if I mess up this so-called perfect family, if I say something, then I might be the one who's accused.
That's so true, and it's not just with sexual abuse, it's lots of things. Girls in, abusive dating relationships are afraid to talk about these things because their parents might think they have a perfect life, or their community think they're the best, the perfect girl, dating the star football player, all these things. But a lot of times it's just a mask covering a lot of hurt. And so for me, it was just amazing that my mom, first of all, believed me. I was afraid that she wouldn't believe me, and second of all, that she did what she could do to protect me, and I'm really grateful for a good mom.
Yeah.
Wow. And we could just talk on and on about this. There's just never enough time. But I'm just wondering, when you go around and you talk give your talk, and girls come up to you, do you also learn something from them? What do you take away from them?
Definitely. Well, for one, I've learned the resiliency of a young girl. What girls have to offer this world. Like, you might have gone through the worst of circumstances as a young girl, but today can be a whole new fresh beginning. I think that's one thing that the film offers, is that hope that tomorrow and the next day we can build on this, and there's hope to totally turn your life around. I mean, you look at what I went through, 10 years of sexual abuse, and that God can take something so ugly and so broken and so harmful, nights and nights of tears, and now I'm just rejoicing with how many people have been helped, and the amazing people I've met. I mean, I spoke alongside the First Lady of Uganda this year. Like, how amazing is that? One girl that was once crying in her closet to now being able to share hope with a nation. So those are the kinds of things that that I've learned from other young girls, being able to see their lives transformed, and how, I recently spoke at a college where there was a girl who never talked about being sexually abused when she was little on the mission field. Her parents were missionaries, and she told me her story over a course of 4 years later, went through counseling. Now she is in Thailand rescuing victims of sex trafficking. And just how God can take something like that, you begin your healing journey, and now you can do something amazing for the world.
Save others.
Exactly. It's really powerful. It gives me chills.
Yeah. It just lets you know that there is a purpose.
Yes.
There is
By
a
helping
purpose.
others, you help yourself. So
Very true.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very
for
much
sharing your
for
story,
talking to us. Stay tuned for more of Another Look.